Good evening, children of the night, and welcome to your collective quarter. So, I was just going through my little app here, messing with the moon stuff, checking in on where the moon is at right now, and it's like, yeah, today's the first quarter, isn't it? And I go in there, and it says we're like, close to the first quarter, in Sagittarius, right? And I'm looking at February 2022. I don't know if that's anything for any of you, but that was weird. I don't know how I got there. I wasn't looking in that month of that year. Recently I did go back and do some moon research, but for whatever reason, the moon was hanging out in Sag in February of 2022, I guess, and it was very similar kind of vibe and mode for today in our collective quarter here. So, fun, random off start to that, I guess. But we're going to get into it because I have had struggle after struggle getting into this today. Whatever reason. What have you. It's fine. I'm going to keep trucking through it. We have Sagittarius moving into Capricorn for our first quarter of this end of the Virgo season, and it's I'm kind of getting like a stabilizer kind of perspective from it. I know that Libra is the scales, but Sagittarius being the hips, it is kind of that pivot point. It's how you are turning into the direction that you want to go, which way that cap is going to take you up that mountain towards your goal and all of that stuff. So those are kind of the thoughts that I was running with until I got thrown into spring of last year. I guess it was still kind of winter. Yeah, February is still pretty winter. What am I saying? It's like negative 30 degrees here in February. That's winter. But yeah, fun times. Let's do the time warp again. Vibe for today. Let's do the time warp again. But yeah, it is. It's a grounding point. It's a stabilizing point. It is turning in the direction that we want to go. And that is our collective progression. King of Cups. Coming up first. It's not facing us. I feel like this King of Cups is just kind of feeling his solitude. Got a whole bunch over here, so I'm gonna peek ahead. So we also have Queen of Pentacles hanging out with Death. The rebirth side of Death, by the way. And that Queen of Pentacles is over here with the Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. Dancing After Death just came back into my head again. I haven't done a soundtrack for this month yet. I have a playlist, but it just feels really personal. I don't know how much all of you guys are so into my little playlists and diving into the weirdness that is my musical brain, but that's on there. Dancing After Death, and that is definitely the song that I'm hearing with this Death card quite a lot. So yeah, we've got this King of Cups over here all alone in his own vibe, and we've got this Queen of Pentacles. She's moving on. She is taking lessons learned and making new experiences out of them. Two sides we have more on this King of Cups? They're not a, like, divine pairing by any means. We just have a strong earthly feminine energy and a very strong masculine watery emotional energy. I heard Scorpio and the cards kind of fell out pointing at the Death card, which I'm pretty sure is a Scorpio card, so take that if it resonates. Here we go. This could either be for both sides of this situation or just in that masculine emotional energy advice here, but we definitely have some healing. 7 cups, 3 swords, a Hierophant, an Ace of Swords, and an 8 of Cups. Ah, the secret's in the water. The secret is in the water. This Queen of Pentacles is doing everything that she knows how to do, everything that is in her scope and realm of understanding. The season has turned, something has died in her life, and she is sorting through it and making things with it in the physical, which is a funny little swap, honestly, because we usually think of the physical plane as more of the masculine realm, but we are doing a little role reversal here with our King of Cups over here, and the opportunities, the emotional opportunities that he is making through heartbreak, through feeling his emotions, through understanding how he really feels. The secret's in the water. Oh, how interesting. How very interesting. So, what I heard here is that this King of Cups can sometimes come off a bit brash, a bit staunch, a little egoic. It is more from disappointments and bad feelings, hurt feelings from the past, the emotional journey that he had to walk on. And, like, I could read this 2 different ways, honestly. I feel 2 different ways about this. I feel both, like, you know, oh, good for that king for going through what he had to go through and developing himself emotionally from that little boy into that kingliness, and, you know, learning how to transmute pain and suffering into opportunities. That's beautiful. But also, like, I can see it from a different perspective of, like, oh, boo-hoo, you're being a jerk because of some shit that happened to you when you were a kid. You see what I mean? What the difference there is? There are 2 paths on this. There's a fork on this path here. So yes. These things could go either way. It really could. You can either take the pain and the emotional struggle and the journey that you have been on, apply, you know, what you have learned in spirituality and taking up action, learning how to transmute it into something very glorious and very beautiful. You could do both. But it's a choice. It's not a determination. I just want to make that clear. And I think the same goes for this Queen of Pentacles and her Pentacle journey over here as well. This side of death definitely brings the opportunity for rebirth, for the beautiful side of this. This is, you know, the sun is coming up. Look at that, like, lighting. But that beautiful golden color that is, like, almost matched in this. But even she could get caught up investing in the wrong things. And that can cause problems as well. So for both parties, we're both sides of ourselves. There is a little bit of caution. So Temperance on the top of the deck. The Emperor just poked his face out from the bottom as well. The Magician fell into my lap. And the Moon fell out reversed on top of our King of Cups. Well, King of Cups. Maybe it's time to stop being so secretive. Maybe it's time to step out into the light. Using that energy to transmute the pain that we have gone through into new opportunities, a new chance. As for this Magician, it fell into my lap. Everyone in this situation, everybody here now, has the opportunity, has the power, very close by. It's in you. All of us can take this card at any point, at any time, and use this as a meditation point for us. This is our personal manifestation. This is taking control of our own lives and our own destiny and making it into what we want to see. There is opportunity for transmutation, for change and growth in all parties involved in these situations, in these scenarios, and the things that are going on in our lives. Probably still just a little shadow phase, but Mercury and a playful child. Very playful. Okay, it's fine. We're just going to leave this here. Actually, I think this is a perfectly good stopping point. You know, if this hits you, if this resonates with a situation, a scenario, anything that is popping up in your life right now, just remember that you have control over your physical dominion as well as your emotional state, and you have all of the power and capability of making the right choices and creating opportunities and transmuting death, decay, bad energy into good energy. That is a general good overall message for everybody, anytime, anywhere, any place, honestly. So, let's get into a moon oracle. Let's get moving, playing around. Even the little one. This is today. This is today. Look at the contrast of this. Darkness and purity. It really has been a struggle bus all day. Just driving that struggle bus. But we have a long night moon and a snow moon. And we're going to read both of them. 40 and 30. Just to throw out another 7 energy. Each side had a 7 energy, by the way, that was driving them, that was influencing them the most through all of this. So let's keep on. Darkness. Long night moon. You are entering a time of introversion, a leaner time, or a time to turn inward and plan and strategize. It is time to do shadow work, which will bring big dividends later on. Release what no longer works for you. One of the earliest human fears is said to be a fear of the dark. We fear what we can't see, and we fear what we may be hiding. In reality, the dark is as important as the light. In nature, there are many nocturnal animals that go about the business of living under the moon, not the sun. The darker times of the lunar and seasonal cycles signal a time to naturally turn inward, to stay close to home, to look closely at ourselves and plan for the light. In the northern hemisphere, the moon usually occurred in December around the winter solstice. This is when the nights are indeed long and the hours of sunshine are short. It's cold, people would begin to be snowed in. I was just talking about February. Sorry. At the beginning of this. Go back. It is during the long nights that we can begin to do our shadow work, undertaking the self-reflection needed to identify what isn't working for us and what might be causing us pain. This could be a bad habit, a destructive pattern, a recurring useless fear, or anything that holds us back from being the best that we can be. Once we see these aspects for ourselves in the dark, we can simply decide whether they must go. We can decide to release them once and for all. We get to transform. Is this not the absolute of collective readings right now? Yes it is. By the way, shadow work time is upon us. Shadow work time has been upon us. This has been a shadow work kind of year. This is when we kicked off. That's how we got started with this. And I just want to point this out here. Yeah, this shadow work might have been something that was triggered for you around the winter time, the deep winter time of 2022. Just in the very beginnings of it. Throwing that out there. Because just too many correlations, too much weird to not point that out. Because that's when you started your journey. Be here. Alright, snow moon. I just want to, one more time, look into our darkness. Look deep into the darkness. We're here together. It's fine. I'm gonna be good. Alright, snow moon. Purity. Look for the simplest and cleanest solution. Understand motives for doing what you're doing. Be as clear as possible in your communication. The word purity now seems to have a kind of loaded moral quality. Anytime I mention the word, people mostly think about how it's used in religions or in morals. For example, the purity of virgins, the purity of no sex before marriage, the purity of celibacy, the purity of bloodline, of certain extreme right-wing groups. No wonder we use the word with some trepidation. The purity I refer to here is the purity of the silver moon on the unmarked snow, the simple purity of intention that nature demonstrates, the purity of clean water in a mountain stream, the purity of one single purpose. The Cambridge Dictionary defines this kind of purity as being clean or free from harmful substances. I guess in our world so full of pollution and damage to the environment, that may be well hard to find. However, the ancients looked at the cycles that brought ice and snow as a sort of reset button, a time when everything lay fallow for a while, and brought it with a kind of simplicity. These times were hard, but if we were prepared for them, we would survive. There are good reasons to strive for a kind of positive purity in our lives. Being precise with our language and as clear as we can be in our communications means fewer miscommunications and misunderstandings in our relationships and work life. Keeping our intentions pure and untainted with lower energies such as jealousy, revenge, or unworthiness as much as possible means that our motivations are pure and not muddy in their reasoning. The contrast, the chills, sensations of fresh snow on the ground, just so cool. So cool. My dear collective, my children of the night, it's shadow work season. Let's get going. If you're just coming in, welcome. Welcome to the party. This is the kind of crazy that we do. This is the kind of fun that we have here. We are diving straight into that darkness, into the blackness of our own souls. And let's not be afraid of it. We're doing it together. We're all here to support each other, to do this together. I am here for you. That's why we're doing this. Why? Because we know we need to make everything clean, even if it's just for a moment. We need to properly cleanse ourselves, our souls, our spirits, and bring in that beautiful new beginning for all of us. Everyone wants a clean slate. Everyone wants a fresh start. Everyone wants that opportunity. So let's not be afraid of the work and the things that we're going to have to do to get into it. Let's dive in. Wholly and fully. It was absolutely beautiful. Thank you all so much for coming. It was a fantastic collective quarter, and I can't wait to see you next time.